Well, guys, here is a brand new HOI4 After Action report that I'm finally done with. I'm very relieved to do it because I got a whole bunch to explain. As this was my Dynam Vicky 2 playthrough that I converted over to HOI4 for the hell of it. And I finished that game on Vicky 2 back in October of last year. So this has been almost a year ago. And I had to keep this on the older version of HOI4 because the converter would not work with the most recent games. So I've had to keep my desktop version of HOI4 outdated for months and months and months because it took so dang long. And of course, I don't fully remember every little detail about this because it's been so long ago. But of course, I had to actually load up the game back at the beginning of 1936 to make sure everything was up, so I knew exactly what everything was going on. What I remember was, eventually at some point in the game, 4 factions would eventually form. There was the pro-America faction led by America, Italy, and Russia, and I can't remember who else. Then there would be a pro-France faction with France, Spain, Portugal, the Ottomans, Brazil, a couple other countries, they're minors. And then there was a pro-German faction led by Germany, UK, Austria-Hungary, Poland, Finland, Scandinavia, Persia, Australia, New Zealand down there, and a couple other countries and such. And then finally, there was my faction, Dynam, which of course, I don't think I had any allies at all. All of them were just under my control pretty much. Oh yeah, I did have a few, that's right. I had Arabia and Egypt. And later on I'll get more factions, but I'll get to that later on. So, very soon into the game, like I kid you not, within like a month or so, America and Germany went at war with each other. And I kid you not, that war did not end until I had to cheat force the game to end. Here we are, all the way in 1966. Almost 1967. The war went on for almost 31 years because no one could do anything. America could invade Germany, Germany could invade America, and that's why this game, when no one could do anything, needs to have a button or an option to just end the war right then and there. If no one could do anything, the war needs to end, because for all of you don't know, the game, although the game ends in January of 1949, if there's an active like world war like going on, the game will not end until that war ends. So, since no one can do anything, effectively the game can't end. The game needs to fix that. They need to allow the game to just end. It's stupid. Especially since the game lags like hell this point on. I've been spending like 2 weeks now trying to end this game since the early 50s. 2 weeks straight of playing this and only gotten 16 years in because it was so laggy. So yeah. Anyways, from what I remember too, I took over the rest of China because all the Chinese substates are still independent. I took over the rest of Japan. I eventually took over Burma, so I had my territory of my colony in Bengal connected, and America did its thing. Eventually, though, in the 50s, Mongolia was independent, but they were aligned with Germany, so couldn't really do anything unless fighting all of them. I even did a coup on Russia, trying to get them to align with us. I eventually supported my party's factions in all the countries. So all these countries in the world are pretty much fascist now. Hoping, because I remember one time I did the Soviet Union from a Vicky 2 continuance game, and I was at war with America at the end of the game. I eventually turned them communist, and they just peaced out like that. I was hoping that maybe if I get everyone fascist, which is my ideology at this point in the game, maybe they'll just peace out and end the game. But nope, they didn't. So eventually, after building up enough, I finally had to go to war with Mongolia. I annexed them. I took over all of British Raj down here, and I took over huge... Wait, no, that's later on. So I took over Mongolia, British Raj, and all that. I eventually had Afghanistan, Punjab, Sindh, Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan, Mewar, Indore, and them as my factions. And then later on, Peru, no, it wasn't Peru, it was Gran Colombia, USCA, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, and Uruguay and Paraguay joined my faction. So yeah, after that, in 1963, I launched a major invasion on Russia, and I eventually annexed all of them temporarily, and I eventually fought a war with Poland to try to take them over, and it was just a slugfest. That's why I decided, I can't take this anymore. This war is driving me insane. I need it to end right now. That's when first I tried to cheat, so I have like infinite stuff, so I'll probably give up. That didn't change anything. Then I actually tried to console command them to, yes men to peace out. They still would not peace out and end the wars. So I said, fuck it, and I went full in, and I console commanded and annexed every single country involved in the wars, and then released them and fixed their borders with console commands. And I gave Russia independence, but took all this territory here, because that's as far as I went before they eventually accepted surrender. And I figured this would be a little bit better off. That way I have like a buffer between Germany and Poland. But because of all this, Russia, after starting off the game as pro-America, became pro-German because of my interventions on them. So, yeah. That's how this game ended, and God, was it so irritating. Another thing too is I had all my brigades are broke because while I was doing the stuff off screen, I forgot I was on Poland, and I sped forward and I broke my faction, my army and all that. Really annoying. And yeah, they need to fix it too with command power. I could not have enough command power to build enough generals because it's maxed out. They need to have it where it's infinite so I can keep building up generals and all that, because more than half my army has no generals, and that really hurts my army's fighting power without a general. So please fix that when they convert. Maybe in the most recent convert, maybe it fixed it, but this is just really bad. There's so many things that need to be fixed. Allow the peace out whenever you end the war, to end the save, and all that stuff. Oh my God, it was so irritating. But yeah, anyways, that is the final results of this Dynam game from Vicky 2. And then, of course, here is the final stats and all that. I just have to go all the way up here. I think this is my highest scoring game ever, too. I had the highest score. America had the biggest brigades. Australia randomly has the biggest navy. I have the biggest air force and the biggest industry and the most territory. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. And here is the final results of all the maps and all the factions.